Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gemini Twin Ascension. I wasn't sure I was going, but I'm going off saying I'm live. But I always talk about, honor your emotions, heal them, feel them, get rid of them. And I, for the most part, I always say I understand, why my twin does some of the things that he does. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that some of the stuff he does doesn't still hurt. You know, um, I haven't heard from him since, let's see, 14, January 16th. Um, and it was just one little message. I can't go into details on some of the things, that happened before that for personal reasons. But right now, I'm at a point where I am honestly, I don't know other way to describe it other than I'm angry at him right now. Um, I always say, I know that when he has the time and the focus to give me the attention that he, knows I deserve from him, he'll be there. But at the same time, I'm, wondering just how little he actually thinks of me that he can go, almost 3 weeks now with not so much as even, are you doing okay? And, things like that. So yes, right now I am very angry at him, and it stems from. I know it stems from feeling I was never good enough. I didn't deserve, things like that. The whole feelings of abandonment thing. That's where a lot of it's coming in from. But I've spent the majority of today just very hurt and upset by him. And it's not something I usually, you know, feel when I think of him. It's a very rare thing to be angry at him for even more than, but for the majority of the day, I have been actually quite angry at him. And doesn't mean I don't still love him. And I know I'll get past this, but it's quite irritating right now. And then we have the karmic irritating me as well. We always tell our kids, you start something, you finish it. And my 13-year-old started wrestling. He he's decided he doesn't really want to do it anymore, and I'm not letting him quit. Well, the karmic today was, bitching, well, he's not going to do his best if he don't want to do it. Basically trying to say, let him quit. But, 22 years together, we've been raising these kids. So you start something, you finish it, and you do it to the best of your ability. And now he's kind of, flip flopping on that one. And that is the whole, counter parenting thing. It's starting to come into play, pitting one parent against the other. And I'm not going to deal with that. But we're going to pull some cards. I'm not going to talk a whole lot right now. I'm going to, really see what comes through, and hopefully the angels will help me transmute, these. I do not I do not like feeling angry with my twin. Don't get me wrong, anger can be a healthy emotion so long as it's expressed in the right way. The karmic doesn't do that. He gets angry, he starts breaking things, punching, doors, trying to burn cards. Yes, he's done that before. He grabbed one of my decks of cards one time, opened them, and was trying to rip them up to burn them. There's a right and a wrong way to express your anger. So we are going to get into this reading, which is odd, 5 minutes into the video, and it's just one of those things. Kind of doing the video to take my focus off of the anger, the destroyer. And I mean, like I said, I know where it's coming from. I really do. But knowing where it's coming from doesn't mean I have to like it. And I do not like being angry at him. And right now, I am angry. I am hurt. Pissed off is, kind of. But I know that. Funny. I always come back. Well, you shouldn't fucking leave. Action. Well, then do something. That just. The day he said that, and he said it a couple of times, sooner or later, I always come back. I was sitting there thinking, hello, Melissa. Sitting there thinking, well, how about don't fucking leave? But, I mean, it's a Gemini thing. I see both sides of the story, and it's not an easy thing to deal with sometimes. You see both sides of the story, but at the same time, you're trying to seeing both sides of the story makes it difficult when your ego starts coming into play, because he sits there and I love you, he says that, but then at the same time he can act the way he does and not even really think twice about it, think that it's okay. And I know that a lot of it stems from his own wounds, core wounds, childhood wounds, the things that he witnessed growing up. But that is part of the reason why we're here. We are here to heal those karmic wounds, those past life ties, all of that. And right now, he's not really doing that. He's acting out of his ego, worried about losing, this, that, and whatever, instead of knowing what he deserves, understanding what he actually came here for. And there's Ophelia, too. My other neighbor. Oh, wow. But it's frustrating. Because, like I said, I see both sides of the story, but at the same time, my ego's sitting here, well, what about me? Do my feelings account for shit in this whole situation? Am I just supposed to sit here and keep letting him, do the revolving door thing? No. And none of us really should do that. We should not, this hot and cold bullshit. We don't deserve it. We shouldn't allow it. And it's where we need to, come up, find our own voices and speak up and say, hey, this is not okay. This is not, how we should treat each other. I've kind of found my voice like that in regards to karmic. I've told him I'm not putting up with, the way you treat me, the screaming at me, the two-sided, his feelings are more important type stuff. I found my voice in that aspect, but with my twin, it's harder to say that, to find my voice, to tell him, you're hurting me when you do this. And honestly, it's one of those things that really should, a conversation that should not be had through text message. Nice. But, and I caught the karmic the other day, and I actually, Ophelia and Melissa, I messaged y'all as soon as it happened. Caught him in a the karmic in a classic, gaslighting situation, because he's constantly bitching at me that I made him go back to the coal mines. He didn't want to go back to the coal mines and blah, blah, blah. Well, we went to a bar Saturday night. One of his former co-workers at this place, God rest her soul, her boyfriend stabbed her in the back of the head while she was sleeping, killed her. So a lot of her former coworkers kind of got together that night for a kind of a memorial type thing at the bar, and I went with him. And one of his former coworkers, kind of in passing, said, "Well, I'm kind of glad you finally, got back into the coal mines like you were talking about for so long that you really wanted to go to." And I kind of sat up and I looked at him and I called him out right there, right in front of everybody. I said, "Oh, so I made you go back to the coal mines. You didn't want to go. I made you." And he started stuttering, but, busted. Yeah, mine's not really fear, Ophelia. It's anger. I'm a little pissed off. Very see, the karmic tried to take Chantix at one point to quit dipping, and y'all know how he is as it is, and I just, he didn't take it for very long. I didn't like the way he acted with it, and I bet that's a text message. Who the hell's, yeah, stupid ad text messages. Yeah, that's just, I don't know what kind of chemicals they have in that crap, but anybody I've talked to, I mean, when one of the warnings, if you have thoughts of suicide and things like that, that right there is a red flag that's not something you should be taking. Keep smoking or take this drug that could help me quit smoking, but make me want to kill myself. No, thank you. Pharma poison can go the fuck on. I will try to quit my own way. But the whole coal mine thing the other night, it ran all through me. I'm like, because he's constantly, I was happy at the job I was at, and then that coal mine job came up, and all you saw was money, and you made me. No, sitting there talking to people, former coworkers about how he was wanting to go back to the mines, but I made him. Doesn't add up to me. Ew. I want to quit. Dang it. Got stressed and started to get, yeah, I know. I want to quit too, but right now I'm just too much shit going on. Basically, I'm doing this to try to change gears, switch focus, get out of this whole anger situation. That was too many. So, yeah. Right now, I don't want the whole deck. Quit being a jerk. But I've been having, dreams of him. I know he's there. I know he's thinking of me, and it's like, hello, pick up the fucking phone. I know your hands work. I know you've been on different social medias. I know. And okay. So yeah. Yeah. I know. What else do we have there? I know. Love me all you want, but actions speak, or lack of action, I should say. So do something about it. I don't like being angry at you any more than you like me being angry at you. But yeah, I know you're going into Ophelia is not, ideal by any, you know, stretch of the imagination. But the more you think of it, in that light, um, the worse it's going to be. Look at it as, a means to an end, a way for you to get out of this heaviness that you've been in for a while, this uncertainty of what's going to happen. Look at it that way as, this is a necessary step to your goal, and it'll help. You won't, yeah, I know, the situation you're going into, it's going to be rough on you, but the more you focus on that part of it, the more you focus on how they act towards you and all that, the worse it's going to be on you. Just focus on, put those blinders on to that crap, and look straight ahead. Know why you're doing this, where you're wanting to go, and it'll help. I know that's easier said than done. Exactly. It's a means to an end. It's a way for you to get to where you need to go. It's as hard as it's going to be for you right now. It's a necessary thing. It's also going to push you to heal a little bit more of those things that were inflicted. I know they say you can't heal in the place you got sick, but it's going to help bring up those issues. You're going to start seeing the correlations between, well, this is how he's treating me, and you'll understand where when your twin does something, you'll see that trigger popping up. Well, this, I'm triggered by what he did because of this, and it'll help you to where you're not as easily triggered over it. So it's, lesson or blessing, and it's a little bit of both, really. I mean, it's a blessing that you'll be able to save the money, but it's also a lesson in figuring out some more of your core wounds that you haven't completely worked through yet. honestly, with my karmics, and then he'll get mad if I try to leave. That's what started the whole, take grabbing my phone away from me. That back in August. That's what started all of that. Um, yeah, I wanted to leave. He didn't want to let me because he was standing there screaming at me. But you've got to take the higher road. Understand that your dad, there's something hurting in your dad, and it's not necessarily that he means to do that to you. It's one of those cycles repeating almost is what I'm feeling, that's the way he was taught. Doesn't excuse the behavior, but when you start to understand that, it'll help you, calm down a little bit. Yeah, I know I know it's very stressful when you've got somebody right there in your face screaming at you. Trust me, I know. But when um you take a step back a little bit, this is how I'm learning to deal with what the karmic's doing. I take a step back, and I remember, I've witnessed sometimes on how his parents have treated him. So I understand a little bit of why he acts that way. Am I letting that slide as an excuse? Fuck no, I'm not. Take accountability for your own actions. You don't let somebody else control your emotions. Learn to deal with things. So I think we're good for now. We've got from the feminine masculine. Oh, he has an issue with women. I really see that. Um, yeah, he does do it with your brothers. I seriously think he has an issue with women. What it is, I don't know, but yeah. But the main card we have for the masculine is action. He is fighting tooth and nail to get done what he needs to do. He is taking those necessary steps to do what he needs to. But at the same time, we had two come out from the Gods and Titans deck for the masculine. The other one is confidence. And when this one popped out, it's just like it popped out as I was just sitting there saying a while ago, I always come back. It's the masculines asking us to have, the confidence, the trust in our connection, and know that they are taking the action they need to get where they need to be for us. I love you. I always come back. I'm just dealing with a lot of crap right now, and I don't want to drag you into the middle of it because that's not fair to me or fair to you. Yes, I understand the way I'm treating you right now is not fair to you either, but it's a damned if I do, damned if I don't type situation. He said, and I don't know which way to go right now. I'm trying, but I don't know which way to go because no matter what I do at this point, it's going to hurt you, and I don't like that. So they're trying really hard, and that's it's where a lot of their stress is coming from. Where a lot of the stress I'm feeling is coming from is him. And we have from the Whispers of Love, we have demonstrate love. It says find out what is important to those you love, and act on it. He knows that the communication with him is important to me. He knows that I need to know that he's okay. But he's finding that hard to do because he knows that when the lines of the communication are open the way they usually are, the channels between us are so much broader, and I can sense so much more than even what I feel from him right now. And Okay. I did get the Viking Oracle deck out today for some reason because that's not even right. But that's not the book I'm looking for. We have a Three of Pentacles. That's what I was checking on. The success through efforts. Um, he is going to be putting forth the effort that is necessary. It's just taking a little time. Pequeño, little more time. But the success, I guarantee you this, he's going to say, what are you doing? Yep, that's right. What you doing? Not talking to you, leave me alone. But the success is coming on a couple of different fronts for him. Where's that? There it is. And then the rune we have, kind of funny, it's the upward arrow. It's called Tewas. Number 17. Okay. Asshole. Yeah. See, he has an issue with women. Says, we have Tewas, or actually it's Tirwa. Tirwas. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to put it, but it's the rune is actually the arrow pointing up, is what it looks like. But it says, have faith. All your hard work and sacrifice will pay off. And see, that's what I was just, success, what I was just talking about with Three of Pentacles. Self sacrifice is necessary to achieve goals. You will have success in legal matters. Please create something new and it will grow into something powerful. Focal. Don't do that. Focus your will strongly and with clarity. And that's the masculine right there is, again, have faith, trust me. I'm doing what I can and I'm trying my hardest not to hurt you. But I know right now it's, catch 22. I'm going, no matter what I do right now, you're going to get hurt one way or another. And I don't like that. So we're, for some reason they're telling me to pull an Oracle of Unicorn. Are you playing? No, I'm not. I had text message come through from Jackass, but then we have Oracle of the Unicorn. We have the celebration card. Positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success. It's masculines are definitely working on what they need to right now, and it's going to work out for the both of us. Success in legal matters. Okay. I don't remember how to say that, babe. Miracle. Hang on. That's bugging me now. Because I can hear it and it's not wanting to come through all the way. Miracle. Oops. No, I want. There we go. Milagros. Okay. That's what I was. Okay. I could hear it, but it wasn't sounding right. My ears are kind of clogged right now. Okay, for the feminine, from the divine feminine, alto, por favor. We have Mirabai, the saint of true freedom. It says, love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. Married to my own soul. What are the twins? One soul, two bodies. Esposo divino, divine husband. Um. Okay. So. Probably. We have the Six of Swords, which is harmony after strain, travel over water from the feminine to the masculine. Yeah, it's kind of feminine acknowledging, yes, we are stressed out right now over some of the things that the masculine is doing, but we know that, we can kind of see that the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. We know that that harmony is coming. We know that there are reasons for these tests that we're going through. And then we have the travel over water. And that reminds me of the dream of going to Scotland with him. Speaking of dreams, how odd is it to have a dream of your karmic punching your oldest son in the face? That was disturbing. It really, I didn't like that one. Okay, and then we have, let's see, this is something I know my own masculine has issues with. It says, receive with love and appreciation. Gracious acceptance is a way to show love. He cannot take compliments. He's, doesn't like hearing the good things about him, which is really weird. A lot of men really like that ego stroked, but he doesn't. He does not accept compliments. He doesn't like gifts. And that comes from the whole feeling, unworthy, undeserving of certain things, especially from the feminine. And it's like he said to me, oh, it was last year, you know, I told him, I don't feel like I'm good enough for you. He said, you're more than good enough. He said, you're too good for me. And he said, I feel like you're out of my league. He doesn't believe that he deserves to be, happy, to be loved for him, not just, everything that he can provide. And I've said it before, and I'll tell him that every time the subject pops up, I don't give a shit about your money. I don't care. Give it to her if that's what'll make her happy. If that's what it takes to let you go. I don't care. If I have you, that's all I need. And then we have, this is why I was looking that up, although because I could hear him trying to say it, but like I said, my ears are clogged. Miracles, milagros. Have faith that your miracle is on its way. Surrender the how, and that the feminine is telling the masculines, let go of trying to control everything, needing everything to be a set way. Know that what is meant to be yours will be yours. Nobody can take it from you. They can try, but it's like that whole, I'm seeing the Lexi comparison on the wheel, how, the karmics are up at the top of the wheel while we're fighting and clawing our way up the side of it. And they're up there kind of laughing at us, not realizing that when we're almost there, almost ready to succeed, while they're up there, laughing at us and everything, God's going to take that wheel and just put us at the top, and those karmics are going to fall off the side. We don't have to control as much of it as we think we do. And then we have Teresa, And I think this is a 3. Kind of funny. Lord Esau. Yeah, that's right. It says, do not get drawn into unnecessary drama. There are many sides to every story. Yours, mine, and the truth. And I have screenshots to prove it. Um, so make sure you research a situation thoroughly before making a decision. Ignorance is no excuse. Choose wisdom and remove the old thorn in your side. Choose a positive flow of enthusiasm. Yeah, I don't know what that word means. And passion rather than aggression, small mindedness, and force. That's what the karmic tries to do. He's that small minded, you know, if it's not this way, the way I want it to be, then fuck everything, and trying to force things that aren't meant for him anymore. But, don't get sucked into their drama. And that's more, honestly, for the feminine themselves, don't, well, even the masculines that have those karmics that are trying to bait them into certain things. And I really don't think I have to, say this to my own masculine, peacekeeper, non-confrontational. Do not get sucked into the drama that, these karmics are trying to create. Drop in my stomach. Oh, that was really nasty. Yeah, it better not be, because I swear if he does that, then all hell's gonna break loose. Yeah. The whole term mama bear, it doesn't stop just because they're adults. It doesn't matter who it is. Trust me. Um, my son was telling me some of the stuff that his girlfriend's brother was saying earlier, and I could feel those mama bear claws just slowly coming out. I'm like, yeah, this guy's 30 years old. And I'm not even going to go into that on here because that's just okay. So we have messages from Spirit to both twins. And we have winter again. Then this card reminds me so much of the wolf on my tattoo. It says, take care of your needs. It's not saying be hateful and make it all me, me, me. Yeah, there are times that you do need to take others' feelings into consideration, but don't put their feelings and everything so much at the forefront that you're sitting back here like, what the fuck? What about me? No, there are times when you do need to say, I need to do this for me. Take care of yourself. And, that's what I was trying to get through the karmic, the environment here is very toxic. And our children will benefit better if we're not together. If the parents are happy, the children will thrive more. And I can tell right now that it's really affecting the kids. The younger ones, especially, just in the way they interact with each other, it's getting more. Yeah, I understand the whole sibling. Siblings are to fight, but it's getting a little. I don't like it. And then we have medicine mother, inner knowing. Please don't do that. So I hear him. He's like, see, you know I'm going to come back, but I don't want to hurt you right now. You're hurting me anyway. But you've got that on your own intuition into things. Listen to it. Don't listen to all this outside chatter, trying to get you to do this, do that. Follow what your own intuition is telling you. And then we have, I keep on that stupid thing. Where did Melissa go? Yeah, I'm kind of spastic tonight. My brain's not functioning right. Yeah, we have the Eight of Cups, which is emotionally unfulfilled. These situations that we're in right now, these karmic situations, that's the way it's going to stay. It's not going to change. It's not going to get any better. And you seem, looking off into the distance, and you know where you need to go. You know where your heart's what your heart's telling you to do. And then we have, yeah, emotionally unfulfilled. And then we have relationship patterns. It takes strength to recognize the need for change. And it has taken a lot of strength for me to actually, you know, speak up to the karmic and say, this is what I need. This is what needs to be done. This is what's for the best. And of course, he says, no, that's not what's for the best. Because he's thinking from that ego side, thinking about, the only what he wants, he wants to be able to keep that grip on me. So he's going to try to say and do, whatever he can. Crown's tingling. To keep that control, to keep things the way they are. And that is Taurus. And yes, I learned this one from Lexi. This is one of the things that Tauruses struggle with, is overcoming that inertia. They don't want to change. They want things to stay. They want what they want when they want it, how they want it, and everybody else be damned. So, the twins are finding that strength that they need to stand up and say, this is not what's serving me anymore. This has to stop. This has to change. And then, and then the Viking Oracle card we have is number 8, karmic. We have Wanyo or Wanjo. It says seek joy actively. It's the most important aspect of your life right now. Loyalty in tough times. Working for and with the community is a positive move. Long held wishes can come true now when you accept the support and input from others. This is what I was just saying, the strength to see the change, the strength to start seeking that happiness that you haven't had, that has been, kind of not necessarily missing, but that there hasn't been enough of, because that abundance is, like I've said this before, abundance is more than just money. It's the happiness, it's the love, there's so much more to that. But the seeking the happiness, it's not just with your twin. You honestly need to learn to be happy with yourself first. It's that Will Smith quote about, it's not my job to make her happy. She needs to find her happiness on her own, and then we can be happy together. And then we have awareness. Live in the moment. Be conscious of your thoughts. Look for signs and guidance. That goes into the intuition. Learning to understand the signs that are all around you. It's like I was driving home earlier. It was from picking up one of the boys. I can't remember which one it was because I drive back and forth so much right now. But I got behind a car that the numbers on it were 123. And while I was sitting there driving, and before I even noticed the license plate, I was, sitting there thinking about how I was really actually angry at my twin. And, acknowledging that. And I don't do that a whole lot. I suppress the anger a lot, which I know is not good. It'll come out one way or the other. It's like a boiler. If you don't let that steam out of it. And what's going to happen eventually? It's going to blow. So, I was sitting there, acknowledging that yes, I am quite angry with him right now because, well, Jess, or Ophelia, what went down a couple weeks ago. And then for him to go quiet, um, yes, I am very angry at him right now. But then, I'm sitting there, thinking, yeah, acknowledging the fact that I am angry. And I look up and see on the license plate 1, 2, 3, you know, what does sequential numbers like that mean? Progress. It's a small step for me in, acknowledging an emotion that I fight so hard to suppress because um, I just, I don't deal with it very well. And part of the reason I don't deal with that emotion very well is because of the karmic. Because for so long, if I expressed any anger at all over something he had done or something that had happened, I would be told, you're overreacting. That's not the way it is. Well, if you wouldn't have done this, then I wouldn't have done that. So for so long, I suppressed any inkling of anger that I had. And to be able to sit there in the car and actually, acknowledge that, yeah, I'm pissed is a big step for me. I'm not going to stay mad at him. No, quite honestly, right now, I'm not even really mad at him anymore, because the more I sit here and talk about it, the more I know. And that whole channel that come through a while ago, it's damned if I do, damned if I don't. If I talk to you about it, you're going to get hurt over it. I don't want you taking, my problems on as your own. And he knows that that's what I will do. But at the same time, he knows that, his lack of communication is hurting me as well. So he's conflicted on what to do. And and I feel it. He is fighting so hard to figure out what to do, how to come towards me, what to say when he does that doesn't sound like a load of bullshit. And but he knows that I can feel the sincerity behind what he says and what he does. So, you know, just come home. Karmic came home. Oh, yeah. I just noticed you said that. But, yay. We're going to do another Whispers of Love just for collective energy. And ow, my ear. What the crap? My ear's itching. Ow. Yeah, you can quit that. Left ear's itching. We're going to do one for the collective. Okay. They went flying. Oh, I asked for one and I get 3. Okay. We have faith. This has been coming out a lot. Trust your faith in this situation. And then we have we have spiritual connection. A relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. And then we have be supportive, make a genuine effort to show you care. For me, that's kind of, giving him the space, not bombarding him, constantly with, you know, texts that when he does put the app on his phone, he's got like 20,000 of them. Because I know, okay, that wanted to come out. I don't even know where'd it go? Act as if your partner is here. Yeah, he knows that we've had this conversation before because he told me, he said, send messages whenever you want to. He said, and I told him, I said, if I sent a message to you, every time I thought about you, especially when you go quiet like that, I said, we'd never get to talk because you'd be sitting there reading all the messages I've sent you. And he kind of laughed about it. But he knows that I think about him a lot. I worry about him a lot. And that's kind of why it hurts when he goes quiet, because he knows that I do worry about him. And I know that he cares, but when he goes quiet, it makes it seem like, he doesn't give a shit enough to, address the fact that I'm worried. And I'm Dionysus. Why are my cards? Oh, they're all, oh well, it doesn't matter. These don't get read upside down anyways. We had a conversation at one point, that it worries me, especially where he lives. It snows quite a bit there, a lot. And I told him, if something was to happen to you, I wouldn't know about it. There'd be nobody up there to tell me, hey, this happened to him. No, well, that I know of. There may be somebody up there that knows. We've never had that discussion, but I know that there's people here that if something was to happen to me, that they would attempt to let him know. But I don't have anybody that I know of that would message me and say, hey, this happened to him, he's going to be okay or he's not going to be okay, things like that. I don't have that. So, and it worries me when he goes quiet like that and I don't hear from him, especially right now in the wintertime when there's, lots of snow, winter weather advisories going off up there. And yes, I do have where he lives in my weather app. I don't know if there's anything. I'm kind of rambling right now because I don't know if there's anything else that needs to come out. I don't want that headache. It's not mine. Thank you. And if it's his, you need to leave him alone. What else do we have? We're at less than an hour. Okay. Is there anything that doesn't go there? Anything else that we need to bring out tonight? Okay. Since the full moon is coming up, we'll pull a Queen of the Moon card to end the reading. Just, I'm saying this out loud. Come home. It's okay. I can help you better if you talk to me than when you're silent. If you're silent on me, I can't really do a whole lot to help. Ven a casa, por favor. Okay. Discernment. Self-reflection. Yes, I know this. realization. Things are coming to a head. Just be patient and action. All of those come out at once. Okay, so I hope this helped. I know I actually got into the reading a little bit faster this time than normal, which is kind of what I intended on anyways, because I didn't want to sit here and stew on that. I knew that, you know, what I needed to hear from him would come out in the cards. Of course, it's things that I've been hearing him say anyways. Sooner or later that okay. I just noticed you said that. Sooner or later we'll work things out. And he's always, always, always talking about, someday, one day we'll do this, one day we'll do that. And I know that honestly he does see a future with me, or otherwise he wouldn't be talking about things like that. So I hope this, helped. If it did, please like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. If you're watching this, you've been on YouTube and like to know how it works. I hope y'all have a good night. Bye.